If you're thinking about grabbing the TiVo Stream 4K for your streaming setup, wait, because I'm about to share what nobody's telling you. This little device promises to simplify your streaming life by centralizing all your apps into one neat platform. But here's what surprised me. It doesn't always deliver on that promise. You might assume all streaming sticks are equal, but TiVo Stream 4K has some quirks and issues that make it less user-friendly than you'd expect. So, should you really buy it? Stick around because I'm peeling back the layers to give you the complete and honest review. Now, before you get too excited or too disappointed, let me tell you who this product is actually designed for. If you're overwhelmed by app switching or frustrated by juggling multiple streaming platforms, TiVo Stream 4K might seem like your holy grail. It's marketed as the perfect solution for cord cutters, TV lovers, and those who want one remote to control it all. But does it really live up to that hype? The answer might surprise you. I'll also highlight some unintuitive quirks that might drive you up the wall. Plus, if you're a voice control fan, there's some good news and bad news. So buckle up. I'll reveal everything, including whether it's good value at $29.99. Let's get into it. To understand what TiVo Stream 4K aims to do, think about this. In a perfect world, you'd have all your streaming apps, Netflix, Prime Video, Disney+, Peacock, and the rest, at one central hub, with a smart interface that brings recommendations from all of them. No more flipping between apps. TiVo Stream 4K promises that by giving you a single, simple UI to search and browse across all these platforms, with personalized recommendations based on your tastes rather than app boundaries. Sounds like music to a binge watcher's ears, right? And the included Google Assistant lets you find and launch shows with voice commands, dim your smart lights, and generally control your smart home from one remote. It even earned Time magazine's special mention in Best Inventions of 2020, and PC Mag called it an excellent media streamer. So from the outside, it checks all the boxes. And it's a pretty big but, this streamlined experience isn't always smooth sailing. Many users report that the interface can feel sluggish or clunky, which can make navigating feel more like a chore than a convenience. It's like having a fancy remote control that sometimes forgets which button does what, frustrating when all you want is to watch your favorite show without a tech lesson. There's also a recurring complaint about recommendations. They sometimes skew weirdly based on limited viewing data, or from one app more than others, which defeats the purpose of truly integrated discovery across platforms. Plus, if you're hoping to play games or use additional apps beyond streaming, TiVo Stream 4K isn't built for that. So keep your PlayStation or Xbox nearby for those adventures. On the technical side, the power consumption is modest, only a maximum of 5 watts, with a 5V1A input, so it won't spike your electric bill. It works best in temperatures between 0°C and 40°C, which means you don't want to stash it in your sauna or freezer. It comes preloaded with the most popular streaming apps, so setup is a breeze out of the box, and the included Google Assistant integration is a big win for those who love voice commands. I joked with a friend, calling it the only device that might make your TV smarter than your teenager, but even this genius can throw curveballs. Speaking of curveballs, let's talk about the remote. It is compact and simple, but some users find it a bit too minimalistic. The buttons are small, and under certain lighting, you might struggle to find the right one without peeking. That's ironic because it's supposed to simplify your life, yet sometimes makes you feel like you're imitating an astronaut fumbling with spaceship controls. On the other hand, if you use the Google Assistant voice feature, you might laugh a little more and save your fingers from becoming remote control contortionists. If you're wondering about picture quality, TiVo Stream 4K supports 4K streaming, which means that if you have a 4K TV, your shows will look crisp and vibrant. But here's a subtle twist. It doesn't support Dolby Vision HDR, which is becoming an industry standard for ultra-vivid colors and deeper contrasts. So, If you're a pixel perfectionist, this might be a deal breaker. It's like buying a sports car and realizing it doesn't have heated seats, which, sure, isn't necessary, but we all want that comfort. Another interesting angle to keep in mind is how TiVo Stream 4K handles app updates and system upgrades. Because it's a dedicated device running a customized Android TV interface, sometimes getting the latest versions or security patches feels slower compared to mainstream platforms like Amazon Fire Stick or Roku. That can leave you waiting longer to get the newest features or fixes. I guess it's a bit like waiting for the bus on a rainy day. You want to get where you're going, but the wait tests your patience. Now, let's get to the core. How does the TiVo Stream 4K perform in daily use? Reviewers on Amazon give it an average rating of 4.2 stars, which isn't bad for a product under $30, but reading through the reviews reveals a spectrum of experiences. Some users rave about the all-in-one interface making binge-watching easier, no constant flipping between apps. Others complain the voice search sometimes misunderstands commands, or that the interface lags just enough to make you sigh audibly. One user even joked that their TiVo Stream 4K must have been trained on a diet of too many sci-fi movies, because it often gave alien suggestions. Okay, that's our first joke on the list. But here's a promise. If you stick with me, I'll help you figure out whether these quirks are deal breakers or just minor speed bumps on the way to streaming bliss. Also, I'll share some handy tips to get the most from this device if you decide to buy it anyway. Think of me as your TiVo Stream 4K tour guide, pointing out the scenic routes and the potholes. So, who exactly benefits the most from this device? If your streaming habit involves juggling Netflix, Disney Plus, Peacock, and Prime Video, but you find the process of opening different apps tedious and love the idea of a centralized recommendation engine, TiVo Stream 4K might be just what you need. It's perfect for people who want convenience and a clutter-free home screen rather than for tech enthusiasts craving customization or gaming options. Also, if your household is into voice commands and smart home control through Google Assistant, the integration here is a standout feature. But if you want the fastest interface with cutting-edge HDR or tons of apps, you may want to explore other options. To explain this better, let me share a quick story. A friend of mine, Lisa, recently cut the cord and wanted a budget-friendly streaming box to replace her complicated cable setup. She picked up the TiVo Stream 4K after watching glowing reviews, excited for simpler binge sessions. Initially, she loved the personalized recommendations and integrated apps. Finally, all her content under one digital roof. However, after a week, she noticed the UI lagging when switching between apps, and the voice search sometimes launched Netflix when she meant Prime. She also missed the Dolby Vision on her 4K LCD. But here's the kicker. She still kept using it daily because of the convenience it brought, and for $30, it was a steal compared to pricier alternatives. So Lisa's experience is a perfect example of how the device isn't flawless, but it carries a value that some users will find worth the trade-offs. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room, pricing. At $29.99, TiVo Stream 4K is considered a budget streamer, cheaper than many well-known competitors like the Roku Ultra or Amazon Fire Stick 4K. Given this, some performance hiccups become understandable. But here's a deal breaker for some. The limited app ecosystem beyond the big names means if you're a niche streamer or want fancy extra features, this device falls short. Also, the interface, while designed to be simple, may not feel as polished or fast as more expensive models. Imagine buying a budget sports car. It can get you from 0 to 60, but don't expect heated leather seats or an onboard espresso machine. Now to lighten things up a bit, here's joke number 2. Why did the TiVo Stream 4K break up with its remote? Because it felt like it was losing control. Okay, enough with the dad jokes. I promise the TiVo remote controls your stream well enough, just sometimes not perfectly. Tech aside, let's talk about the design. The unit itself is small, about the size of a typical streaming stick or a deck of large cards. It's easy to stash behind your TV without clutter. The setup process is straightforward. Just plug it into HDMI and power, connect to Wi-Fi, and sign in to your apps. But here's an important tip. Ensure your Wi-Fi signal is strong because sluggish internet can exaggerate any lag or buffering issues. Think of it as the difference between drinking a milkshake through a straw and trying to gulp it with a coffee stirrer. Your Wi-Fi is the straw. Here's the third joke. What do you call a TiVo stream 4K that's slow to respond? A stream that's more of a trickle. If you experience lag, check your network first before blaming the device. Looking ahead, should you buy it? The answer depends on your priorities. If you want a cheap, all-in-one box that simplifies your streaming apps and doesn't mind a few rough edges, then TiVo Stream 4K offers great bang for your buck. The integration of Google Assistant and centralized recommendations can genuinely enhance your viewing experience. But if you want the absolute smoothest navigation, the fastest updates, or the highest-end picture quality, other devices may serve you better. Remember, at under $30, it's a fantastic option for entry-level users and casual streamers. It's also a smart buy if you love experimenting. After all, it was named on Time's Best Inventions list, so there's something innovative under the hood. Before I let you go, here's one last joke to leave you smiling. Why was the TiVo Stream 4K always calm? Because it had all your streams under control. Get it? Control, stream. All right, I'll stop now. To wrap this up, TiVo Stream 4K isn't perfect. It has its frustrating moments, slowdowns, and limitations in app variety and advanced picture quality. But it also offers tremendous value for its price with centralized app navigation, voice control, and integrated recommendations that many users appreciate. For cord cutters, families, and budget-conscious streamers, it's a solid choice that can make your TV time more enjoyable without breaking the bank. Is it for you? Hopefully, this honest review cleared things up. So, if you're ready to simplify your streaming and snag the TiVo Stream 4K at the best price available, check the link in the description below. Give it a try, because sometimes the best gadget isn't the flashiest, but the one that just gets you through the next binge session with fewer headaches. Thanks for watching and happy streaming.